Coach, the tundra may not quite be frozen, but it's getting there as we work our way through December. The radar today, however, is clear at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Hey, exit.
On first down, Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing now is Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
On the ready. Chopper! Chopper! Watch right. Not today, you are. Not today. Let's go.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run from the shotgun with Murray. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Check nickel. Hey, Jet. 5.
A shotgun handoff. This is Murray now. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that's caught by Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Protein spill.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. Complete. Smith has it. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, it's Murray. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
X3, 218, chop.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Murray. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Set. 30 base. Kill. Blue draw quarters. Check. Hot. Whip. Watch the whip. Ready.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the one. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now Tannehill. He's got Smith here. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. And here we go. Watch the pass.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they give this time to the tailback. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing is Rodgers. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Let's get off the field, D. Mike, 55. Right there.
To throw, it's Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
High 7. Pick it up. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. With touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. The extra point up and good. And the lead is now 10-3.
The score, Packers 10, Vikings 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, second quarter in Atlanta. And really pouring it on now are the Falcons. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Ready. 44, Mike, 44. Go on, D.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
That's the takeaway. That's the takeaway. That's how the defense.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Here's Murray running right. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Team 6. Check, 4 down. Mike's 50.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's Tannehill looking downfield for Jones. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up fourth down. This is away and a very good kick. Angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers making the catch is Sternberger. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, they can put him in a number of different places. In line, H-back, put him in the slot. In this case, they put him out wide. Matchup nightmare. Who are you going to send out to cover him? And he picks up a first down with that catch.
Rodgers now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. And he's got Latavius Murray. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
58. Cat 300. Cat 300. Titans on Ringo. Titans on Ringo. Go.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Rodgers now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throw to the right. He's got the tight end here, Sternberger. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rodgers again now. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here I come again. Ready?
Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. To the tight end and complete. It's Sternberger over the middle. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 2nd down and 4. Rodgers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Rodgers going to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Green 18. 59. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
158. 59. Target.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Brings up second and goal at the 1-yard line.
Second and goal from the 1.
Ready? Sponge. Look again.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
They can't see.
Mark Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Got it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Tannehill on first down. And this one complete to Smith. A gain of 6 there on first.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Tannehill. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Here we go.
The Vikings take over first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. Those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Back to the air, Tannehill on second down. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance.
He's got a man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Packers 34, Vikings 10.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Vikings take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming. Wait.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when Comes to defending the pass is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Green 18. 55, Mike. Hey, Charlie. Don't left, Charlie. Green 18.
On first down, Ingram. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Rolling to his left. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. And this one is right through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First down, Vikings.
One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
From the gun, Fitzgerald going deep for Diggs. He's got it at the 15. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so it might as well have not even had the penalty.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10.
Check 24, check 3, 218, chop it. Smooth. 5.
Operating from the gun, Fitzgerald to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Off the play fake. Fitzgerald. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Second and 11. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it's third and goal. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
I got 19. He's mine. He's not going anywhere. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go.
On fourth down, Fitzgerald. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. Fitzgerald, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about.
Let's go now. 18 Gators. I smell fear in that offense. Get it.
From the gun, Fitzgerald. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Blue draw portrait. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Hey, zoom. 44, Mike, 44. I got you, Pop. Fofo's the mic. Mike Fofo.
Operating from the gun, Fitzgerald. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. The extra point up and good. And that will get them one closer. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the fourth, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An ideal beginning of the drive there, as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fitzgerald. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 50 yards. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Back to throw. Fitzgerald, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hold on, it would be win number 10 for them on the year. After the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
That's it, baby. We gon' work.
Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On second down and 4, Rodgers. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers to throw. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Get 300. Get 300.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Single receiver.
To throw is Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
358. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Packers, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.